The first scream came from inside the walls. That was the moment I knew the abandoned warehouse was not empty. It was 11:47 p.m. when my car headlights cut through the fog hanging over the industrial district on the edge of town. The place had been shut down for almost 20 years. No security, no power, no reason to be there, except for the anonymous email that promised proof of what really happened the night 6 workers vanished without a trace. I should have deleted it. Instead, I brought my camera. The warehouse stood like a dead giant, rusted metal ribs exposed, windows shattered like broken teeth. Even from outside, the air felt wrong, too cold, too heavy, as if the building itself was breathing. When I stepped out of the car, the silence was unbearable. No insects, no wind, just my own heartbeat pounding in my ears. I hit record. All right, I whispered to the camera, forcing confidence into my voice. This is the Blackridge warehouse. If anyone's watching this later, and I don't make it back. Something slammed inside the building. I froze. The sound echoed again, deeper this time, like steel being dragged across concrete. Every instinct screamed at me to leave, but curiosity is a dangerous thing. It convinces you that fear is just imagination. The door creaked open with a scream of rusted hinges. My flashlight beam cut through the darkness, revealing endless rows of broken machinery and hanging chains that swayed slightly, though there was no wind. That's when I heard whispering. Not voices. Breathing. Slow. Close. Surrounding me. The camera shook in my hand. Hello. I called out. The breathing stopped instantly. 3 seconds of complete silence passed. Then, footsteps. Running. Not toward me. Around me. I spun in circles, flashlight wild, catching nothing but shadows that moved a fraction too late. My chest tightened. My pulse roared. This was already worse than any urban legend I'd ever investigated. Then I noticed the walls. Handprints. Hundreds of them. Pressed into the concrete like they'd been burned there. Some were small. Some unnaturally large. And they were layered. Like people had tried to claw their way out from inside the building. I backed away, my heel hitting something solid. I looked down. A shoe. Still laced. Still stained dark with something that didn't look like rust. The whispers returned, louder now. Not random. Words. Stay. Watch. Remember. My flashlight flickered. That's when the temperature dropped so suddenly my breath fogged in front of me. A shadow peeled itself off the far wall. It wasn't human. Not fully. Too tall. Limbs bent at the wrong angles. Its face looked unfinished, like someone stopped halfway through creating it. Where eyes should have been, there were deep, wet holes that reflected no light. The camera caught everything. The thing tilted its head, listening to my panic, feeding on it. I tried to run, but the floor shifted beneath me, metal screaming as if the building itself rejected escape. The doors slammed shut. The warehouse lights flickered on by themselves. What I saw next will never leave me. Bodies. Dozens of them. Hanging from hooks. Standing against walls. Sitting at broken desks like they'd simply stopped moving. Their mouths were open mid-scream, eyes wide, skin gray and stretched tight. But the worst part, they were still alive, barely breathing, barely blinking. The shadow moved through them like smoke, and wherever it passed, their eyes followed me. You came to see, the thing said, its voice layered with dozens of others. Now you stay to remember. My camera slipped from my hands, still recording as it hit the floor. I tried to scream, but my throat locked up. The walls began to pulse, like veins under skin. The handprints moved, slowly peeling themselves out of the concrete. I realized then the truth no one wanted to say. The warehouse wasn't abandoned. It was feeding. The thing stepped closer, and suddenly I understood why the email had been sent to me. It needed witnesses. New ones. The last thing the camera captured was my reflection in its hollow eyes, already fading, already becoming part of the building. If you're watching this, it means the warehouse is calling again. And it knows where you are.